censor has now hammered the scheduled broadcast of an Oscar-winning film, The Danish Girl, on Sony Plex channel, citing the subject of the film as unsuitable for all audiences. In a notice issued yesterday to the channel, the CBFC denied permission for telecast of the film scheduled for today. The channel confirmed with a tweet saying that the premiere of the award-winning film, The Danish Girl, on March the 26th is stalled because the necessary certification to telecast has not been received. Polumi Saha is joining us with further details on this story. Polumi, it seems the Censor Board strikes once again.
Right, Sony Plex HD, which had basically, which was in fact going to broadcast and telecast this film, which is an Oscar-winning film, today, in fact, has now tweeted that we know how much you wish to watch The Danish Girl this Sunday and regret the inconvenience caused. We thank you for your constant support. And what we're learning is that the CBFC, which is the Censor Board, has basically decided and it has decided and has told Sony HD that they will not be able to telecast this film because there is some amount of objectionable, in fact, unsuitable viewing for Indian audiences below the age of 18. The Danish Girl, which I said has won an Oscar for one of their leading ladies in the Best Supporting Actress category, so is an award-winning film, is about the film is about Eddie, one of the first recipients of a sex reassignment surgery. So it's about the story of a transgender pioneer. Now, unfortunately, the CBFC thinks that this is unsuitable viewing. The CBFC, of course, can recommend a video and audio cuts on any sort of film which is being telecast. In terms of, we've seen a lot of films which basically get chopped because of certain content in it, which the CBFC finds unsuitable for viewing. But in this particular case, the CBFC has decided to altogether drop the entire broadcast of the film.
Absolutely. And what is really the reason which the CBFC is giving for this polemic, given the fact that this is an award-winning film? This is a film that's been screened over the entire world and won awards for its subject as well.
Well, basically what the CBFC has communicated to Sony and Sony Plex HD at that about this film is that it has certain content which is unsuitable for viewing by Indian audiences below the age of 18. So they've decided that they are going to altogether stall and halt the broadcast of this film altogether. Like I mentioned, the Censor Board does time and again chop sequences within films, video, audio, which they find, of course, of objectionable nature, inappropriate altogether. But in this particular case, it's a little strange that the CBFC has decided to drop the broadcast of this film altogether. So the film won't be telecast on Sony Plex HD tonight, as it was slated to, because, of course, the CBFC has stepped in.
Absolutely. And has the channel responded? Have they given a reaction? Will they accept this decision? That's the big question, Polumi.
Has accepted.
Okay, before I get you back in, Polumi Saha, we are being joined by Alec Padamsee, well-known ad filmmaker and prominent voice from Mumbai, on the phone line. Alec Padamsee, how do you react to this? Yet another film facing the ire of the Censor Board, and this time it's it's an award-winning film and subject.
Yeah, I find that the government has no business peering into what people see and don't see, unless it's, if it's reasonable, yes. But otherwise, matters of choice as far as sexual preferences are concerned, I don't think the government has any right. But there is a problem, and that is, how do you prevent young people from watching it? People underage, in other words, who would be influenced maybe wrongly by this kind of a telecast. So I think it needs a very careful handling. But basically, I'd say moral policing, whether in real life or in our media, is something that I find very distasteful.
Yes, and do you think that's something that the Censor Board has become, moral policeman with the kind of films and subjects that they've, continuously been blocking? It's not a one-off case, yes. Alec Padamsee.
Yes, definitely. I find that very reprehensible, and I think maybe the chairman of the Censor Board, has his own moral standards, and he forces it onto the general public, which is not right, which is definitely not right.
Okay, and do you feel then a reform is needed? There was an emphasis on certification that Shyam Benegal panel was recommending. Do you feel that should be implemented as soon as possible.
Yes, I agree with the Shyam Benegal panel that there should be certification. There should be no censorship. You can have X, you can have even triple X, and that means okay for very, very people who will not misunderstand the message. And you will have U and A for adults and so on. And that is the way to go about it, not to tell people you cannot see it. You are absolutely, forbidden. This forbidden business kind of thing has been the bane of our what we view and what we don't view.
Right,
and
we leave it there.
It's about time that they either abolished the Censor Board and just had a certification board.
All right, we leave it there. Alec Padamsee, thanks very much for joining us with your perspective on this story. Also, thanks to Follow Me, who joined us